I have a question. I just, I'm curious about it, and maybe y'all can answer it to me on this one. I'm just an outsider, just asking and looking in. And I had this question about modern women because it seemed to be a trope that comes up to me. It was asked to me. I did a singular video already, but I just said I'll go live because I'm just driving. Why are they looked at as the boogeyman, or why are they made to be certain type of boogeyman, and on certain social media platforms and talking points? I was always curious about that because, I could have always sworn that, most places you go, food, medical, service, I don't know. There's not that many places where women can't go to work. They're in politics. They're in education. I was watching this woman at AutoZone. She was changing out a battery. She's pretty good. She got it done in 6 minutes. But it's told that, that women, the modern woman is a threat and a danger. And you have to ask the question as to why. When we already see, looking around, that the economy is not getting so much better. It's not getting better. It's not, prices are going up. They prefer, if you're trying to get a home, for there to be two incomes rather than one income. Yeah, that's the thing. Go apply to go get a home. And it's the thought process that's being looked at. Well, they'll say, well, modern women do not want a family. Well, that kind of goes back and forth because both sides have to want a family or show that they're capable of wanting a family. You could say that you want a family, but your actions may prove different. You can say that, hey, I want to be a daddy or a mommy, but you may not be there. Hey, what's going on, Hats? What's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those it's one of those talking points I'm hearing a lot, especially, in certain spaces, talking points, and I don't want to call them lesser, but I gotta be for real. You would have to be a lesser minded individual to want to have such a low thought process of modern people. Because if she's a modern woman, then what would that make the man? I mean, you're born in this time. There's cars, cellular phones. We have AC. We have clothing. We have different things to go off of. Why would you say that? Oh, well, the modern woman. Then what would you be? What are you, a traditional man? I mean, most people. I mean, to be honest, most people are not traditional. They'll say they are, but then when you actually look at their lifestyle, how they maneuver and talk and act, they're not traditional. And then the conversation comes up to, well, the system is made for the woman. Well, okay, let's hit at that. Who predominantly makes the system? Is it women or is it men? It's men. Men make the system. Men make the system. I don't know why. Like, you gotta understand, like, it's the weaker men versus that of the have men. The have and the have nots. The have nots are complaining that why are the haves doing for that of the women and the children, not for that of the men? Because, and if you are a capable man, you kind of look down on a man that's not working to better himself. Granted, I get it, you're gonna say, well, the women, but also women are now pushing at women that are not pulling their weight. Because they're like, hold on, I work and bust 2 jobs. I know that my mother, she did. My mom worked at the gas station and also worked doing logistics for a it was like was it like a auto, it was like a store that had supplies. You could order them in. They're closed down now. But my mom used to do that. And she had 4 kids. Now, majority of the men that used to always ask for her, she knew what they wanted. And to be fair, the men, they wanted access to her. Not to that of, hey, my situation right now, I got 4 children to raise, probably it was 5, because my cousin was also staying with us. And I have a mortgage. The men that were coming at her, they saw her for her beauty, but they weren't trying to help her with her situation. So she was like, I have to go harder. It's no secret that a modern woman with in a disposition, she's looked at or taken as she's taken as that of an easy mark. I know this because I'm a man. I'm a modern man. I understand that hey, the more mouths you have to feed, that's a setback. That's a setback. Because that's money and resources that you could be putting into something else. Same thing for a man. When you hear a lot of men say, well, what does a woman bring to the table? Well, I mean, it's, you got to shop for a woman that brings something to the table. And what kind of woman are you shopping for? Well, I just want her to be at home, have my meal ready. Okay, so that's what you want to do. You want her to cook and clean. All right, so you want that modern woman just to cook and clean. Mind you, that is a job that you are asking her to do. Cook and clean and do X, Y, and Z. Most successful households, both partners for the most part work. Yeah, good afternoon. What's going on, Exile? Like, and y'all gotta be there for when me, Exiled, and Al have our conversations. Like, most modern men and women work. They work to build that of a functional habitat environment for that of their family, of their micro community. Their micro community, which would be their household. Like, I'm telling you right now, like, I never saw my dad too much because my dad was working. He got up before my mom did. He got up before she did. So my dad was out the door around 3 to 4. My mom would leave around 8 or 9 after she already had put us on the bus. And then she would go to work. Her and my dad would probably already had taught. This is before they had more so of cellular digital access. And they would literally put out whatever type of meat. Or they'll probably say, hey, make sure y'all put the peas out. Or put the frozen vegetables out. Or, they already have prepped the meal for the next day. Now, that does not mean, well, they must be traditional. No, they were the modern family of that time. And this is the thing that's very interesting about when people talk about modern. Well, you and I of today, we're modern. We're not, I don't see nobody riding around. And shout out to anybody who lived in the Midwest. When I lived in Kentucky, when I saw the Amish riding on a horse and buggy, I would say now that is traditional. That is old school. That right there, that they're not modern. They would be the modern Amish folk, which would actually be what the modern Amish folk would be called the Mennonites. What are they? The Mennonites? Because they actually drive vehicles. So you have the Amish that ride in horse and buggy, which is illegal to run them off the road. You will go to jail for that. And you have the Mennonites who they ride. I mean, mind you, they wear similar clothing, but they actually are more modernized. They're more modernized. And the talking point I would have to ask people is, why are you telling other men not to get with a modern woman. When we know that the climate of today, and shout out to my boy Exile, we talked about these, we had this conversation. We know that the climate for today is getting harder. To be honest, I'm not sure what they call the modern. The modern Amish are called Mennonites. I mean, y'all, the modern Amish are called Mennonites. Mennonites. Like literally, they drive around in vehicles and everything. Like they, like not cars. Like they have like vans. Like you see, like that type of van right there, that white van. They would be in that. Like they go out. Like they try to make a trip count. They can build you. They build parking lots. They can build you a house. They can do a whole plethora of stuff. Make you some really good jams. Make you some good honey. Oh man, their honey is very, 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 very healthy. Have a spoon of honey every morning. I just didn't know that's the that's what they call them. I play video games, and one back in the past, they used to have a community center at the Amish kids and go play video games. Yeah, and see that's the thing about it is, they use technology off the parish premises. Like I don't think people understand, man. Like we're not back in those times anymore. Like the economy is not. You're not gonna go drive by a gas station and see 25 cents to the gallon. You're not gonna see that. You can't go to the grocery store and say, "Hey, I'm gonna take $10 and go get me a stick of butter, some bread, some milk in a glass jar." There's no milkman coming up with a glass jar. There's no dude driving around with a freezer box on the back of his truck delivering ice to put into your refrigerator. There's none of that said traditional back in the day technology. Like we're past that. We gotta where men are out there, men and women out there driving cars now. Back in the day, it was illegal for a woman to drive a car. Nowadays, women are driving. They drive all the way. I haven't seen them drive a tank yet, but I've seen them drive all the way up to a tractor trailer, or an MRAP, or an MATV. But the sentiment that they own businesses, they're deans over schools. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are developers and engineers. You're not I'm just being honest. Like you're not sending people back. Like there is nothing. Only way. Listen, bro. There is nothing y'all gonna say to actually make people to want to go back to the way things they were. There's nothing y'all can say, man. It's the have or have nots. Either you can keep up or you can't. You're gonna have a hard time telling somebody to, hey, I think it's a waste of time that your daughter goes to college. She should be at home barefoot and pregnant. Mind you, most women are not having children like that. And if you ask them the reason why, they'll tell you, hey, the timing of the economy is not that good right now. The timing of their economy is not that good. It's hard to raise a child off of one income. So that's why I find it interesting when people try to say, oh, well, women out here having kids and getting abortions. No, they're not. Like literally, like that's down. It's literally down. As man, we should not want to go back to the 50s era where it's okay and lawful for a man to hit his woman out of frustration because that's the thing about it, dude. And see, that's the thing that they don't talk about, Exile. Like back in the day, you could beat a woman. And some men were not for that. Like some men were not for that practice. They were not for that kind of law stuff. So the sons and fathers and certain people started making laws like, yo, you're not gonna put your hands on my daughter. Like, I don't think y'all would want to go back to traditional times if y'all could, because it didn't take nothing that if you as a man, the laws maybe have been strict for a woman, but the laws were even worse for a man. That's the thing about it that I don't think people take into account. Like, you'll talk about, well, back in the day, women did this, this, and this. But then the pressure that would be on you as a man would actually quadruple. Let me explain this. So, if you had gotten a woman pregnant and that family felt like you was out of pocket, out of line, you do know they possibly would come up there and either beat you to death, shoot you, or force you to marry her. And what were you going to say if they had the numbers? All they had to do was literally, why do you think they said shotgun wedding? There would be somebody with a 380 to the back of your dome, and God forbid you said, I do not want to marry this woman. Well, then guess what? May God be with you, because you definitely are going somewhere. But you're not going to live another life. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things that people are talking about, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to get easy. When people say, I want the traditional woman, you know, what's going on, Doug? Like, that I would say, well, then if that's the case, then we're going to need more men to go into education. I got a newsflash. A lot of men aren't that patient with daycare and sitting down and reading and helping these kids with their lessons. A lot of men are not that patient like that. And I know y'all like to pretend men are. I ain't gonna lie. Nope. Go to your mama. Go to your mama. 1, 2, 3. 2. Where's my belt? And then once you say, where's my belt? And they start crying, oh, you definitely lost them. I don't want a traditional modern woman. Like, I don't get it, right, Doug. I mean, you and I in Exile have been listening to these conversations for a while, bro. Like, and I keep asking people, like, what is the end game? We don't want women to vote. Bro, you're not, listen, you know how many women there are in the population? There is no way that either political side, whether they be the left or the right, mainly the right, no political affiliation is going to tell women to stop voting. If that's the case, if you were to tell women, hey, I don't want you to vote, then they'll be like, well, okay, then stop taking my tax money. Then stop taking my tax money. If I can't vote, then you should never take my tax money. You should never hold me to any type of federal. And I don't think you want that type of Susan B. Anthony type of lifestyle, because literally that was one of the issues that they said, yo, we want women to be held accountable. Like some of the talking points online, it's like the doom and gloom conversation, but it's never the logical people that are out there actually working. Like, I mean, just honestly, like, you do know your foundation of a lot of businesses would actually crumble. They are a permanent fixture in the workforce. They're not going nowhere, dude. But here we go. Well, the society is run by a matriarchy. Most prominent people in the world are men. The most powerful people in the world are men. The most powerful people that are out there that are doing things or running things, there are men, not women, and they know that. They do. I'm trying to figure out this talking point where people try to tell younger people, you don't want to deal with no modern women. Then what were y'all dealing with? What were you dealing with? When there was Freaknik, were you telling those women to go home, don't be here? When y'all were going to go play sticky finger and try to finger a girl, were you thinking about being traditional? It amazes me, people who already done lived their life, or they're not in that lifestyle or situation, they're talking the modern conversation. What happened to them? None of those people are thinking about tradition. If that's the case, the fresh and fit, whatever dudes, they wouldn't be inviting certain types of women on their panel. They invite those type of women. They don't invite women up there that have whole degrees, have whole functional businesses, that actually have a whole family. They don't invite those type of people. Why? Because the pushback would be too great. Because the main court, they'll say, well, if I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and I still got chosen, which that's the thing about it that a lot of people aren't being realistic about. If a man really wants that woman, he's gonna overlook things to get with that woman. Because he wants what he wants. Like, stop it. Like, that's why I said, like, the conversations are let's not pretend that when we saw the girl who came into the school wearing the nice baby fat jeans, wearing the nice goddamn shirt that showed a little bit of cleavage, we weren't running up there and grabbing no towel and covering her up and say, oh my God, you gotta go sit in the back of the class. Nope. I didn't see nobody screaming and shouting when girls were putting on lipstick in the bathroom and coming outside. They need to take that makeup off. Like, that's you, dude. That's you. That's you. If you want a plain Jane, that's on you. I don't get bothered with women wearing makeup. That's an enhancement. I never got bothered. Like, come on now. What man really gets bothered with women wearing makeup? Granted, they don't wear makeup all the time. There are some who do. But for the most part, a lot of these conversations, they're not really holistically grounded in like factual evidence. Women buy hair and wigs and weave. Yes, they do. They do. They do buy that. They buy that kind of stuff because a lot of men like seeing women dressed up. I'm sorry. But it's just one of those things. Go to other cultures, go to other places. A lot of women do certain things because they know that catches the eyes of the men. You know, I mean, all these conversations, like, you know, they're not clicking. You're not gonna tell me that all of a sudden guys who are like shooting their shot at women, like, hey, so, you know, what do you do? Well, I'm a nurse. Oh my gosh, you're a nurse? You don't stay at home? No, I'm a nurse. I make my own money. I go on vacation every summer. I don't complain about women wearing makeup or a weave. I simply don't date women that wear makeup or weave. Lipstick, it's okay. Foundation, it is a no. Like, you know, and that's the thing about it. Like, shop for what you like. What you may say, you might, and you know the thing about it is, and here's the interesting thing. What you may say that you may not like today or right now, it's not the end all be all, because if you bump into the right person and they know how to wear it right, you might say, Doug might say, I don't usually date women with a wig on, but that one, she looks really good. And that sundress on her, and she got her toes done, and you know what I'm saying? She like, hey, what's up? She cracking jokes, and y'all talk about politics. You probably be like, I can give this one a shot. It only takes the right requirements. It only takes the right talking points. Most people can be swayed. And I've seen this time and time again. I'm hearing all these talking points about modern women are the devils, or they're the reason why men are failing. That's a lie. Go tell that to the Asian dude that has his wife right there, $5.99. And I know that was jacked up, but I don't ever hear them telling their wife, hey, you need to be at home. You don't need to be here helping me with this business. I don't ever see the dudes that are running grocery stores, those Arabs that run the grocery stores, telling their wives who are sitting behind there or their sisters, hey, why are you here at the shop? They be encouraging their families to go to school, get an education, do well for themselves. Like, they be telling them to do all that. Why are we telling our people, hey, y'all don't need that? Like, don't get me wrong, certain nuances do get annoying, but then it's like, to those who are doing what they're supposed to be doing in society, it wouldn't bother me. So when a woman says, B.M.T, I make $60,000 a year. Oh, that's good, baby, that's good. Yeah, and I do it all by myself. That's real good. So if a man comes to you and he makes 50 or 60,000, y'all be 50 plus 60,000. Add that together. That's 110,000 your household is bringing in. That's great. That's really good. Y'all can do some nice things, and it does happen like that. Now some talk point. Oh my God, you do this and that. I can't ever see myself with you. Stop it, bro. Like, y'all, that's what I said. Like, the dishonesty is so real. It's so unreal. Most people link up in the workforce. Right. Like, they're meeting at, you flip burgers, I flip burgers. Hey, what's good? I can take you home if you need a ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you need? Like, most people meet out and about. They're not meeting inside each other's house. They're meeting out and about in, like, workplace environments. Majority of people who link up are meeting in workplace environments. So all the doom gloom talking points, they don't be making sense. They don't. I be listening to them, but I'm like, that didn't make no damn sense what you just said, bro. That really did. The household is a patriarchy. It's not supposed to be a matriarchy. But I'm like, okay, so why don't you make better decisions? Why don't you start stepping up? As simple as that. That's what I tell a lot of people. Like, here's the thing about it, and I'm gonna show you this. This is how I know people are not telling the truth. Right? Ask a man who's in a relationship with a woman. A woman will come up to a man saying, and watch this, babe, what do you want to eat? Babe, what do you want? I don't know. I don't care. Baby, what do you want? I don't know. I don't care. You sure? I'll take some chicken and some rice and some green beans. Okay. Most men are pretty complacent. As long as the household ain't burning, as long as it ain't crazy, as long as the kids are good, most modern men are not complaining or freaking out. The wife saying she gonna make chili dogs and hot dogs and French fries and get you a cold beer. The man is not gonna die and roll and rivet in pain. Oh God, I didn't get a hot meal. Like, that sounds like some bitch shit right there to me. I'm just sorry. It do sound like some bitch shit to me. And I ain't supposed to curse, but it do. Because honestly, if that's the case, I would have been like, well, why didn't you take out the pack of chicken? So that way she would have known, like, defrost chicken. been her. Most men ain't tripping about women they are not in a relationship with, and that's a fact. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, these conversations, they be missing me sometimes, and that's not me like punching at people. And I would love to have the conversation, because when it comes to that of like getting kids dressed, like picking certain types of food and stuff. Now, certain stuff of women that you're not dealing with, that could get annoying. But for the most part, most people don't care. Most people don't care. And you want to know how I know this a lot? You want to know how I know a lot of this stuff? But I can tell you right now, I'm about to go inside of here a hair spa. I get my hair done. I can tell you right now, the amount of money that I hear that these women talk about in business, they don't gossip. They do, but they talk about a lot of business. A lot of business owners are in there getting their hair done. Men have the barbershop, women have the salons. And when I'm in there, it's not the same conversation, bro. It's really not. It's really not the same conversation. Like, people, people are making boogeymen out there that are not out there. That's what's so funny about it. They're making boogeymen that are not out there trying to get them. And that's their problem. That's their problem. Women out here, they can go to the courthouse and petition, like, yo, dude, you know you have a certain amount of days to petition for your kids if you so choose to. But don't worry, I'll have the conversation later on. I'll see you guys later. Like, share. If you want to comment, I do look for your comments respectfully. You know what I'm saying? And let's hear it, bro. People talk from their chat. They don't ever come talk to me directly. I'm very approachable. Peace.